A big technology deal coming after the close of trading today. Hewlett-Packard saying it wants to buy Palm for $1.2 billion or $5.70 a share. That's a 23% premium over the closing price of Palm stock. Now, we've spoken to some analysts recently that valued Palm at zero. Joining us on the phone now to discuss the deal, we have Tavis McCourt. He's an analyst at Morgan Keegan, and he cut his rating on the shares of Palm. I'm sure he didn't know what was happening today with HP. He cut his rating on the shares to underperform. Tavis, welcome to Bloomberg.
Hey, great to be here. Cut my rating a few weeks ago, actually, not today.
All right, that's even better. Now, let me just bring into the conversation, we have Daniel Wiener. He's a leading expert on the Vanguard family of funds. We also have Chuck Lieberman of Advisors Capital Management. You got a question about technology? Go ahead, ask Tavis.
Well, it seemed like Palm was going to zero, so why did they pay $1.2 billion? Why didn't they just bail them out for debt or whatever their liabilities were?
Tavis? Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, they had some cash, so they weren't going away quickly. And I think the fear, if you're HP and you want the asset, the fear is there maybe another bidder comes in at some point in the future. But it's certainly, this is not being bought on the fundamentals of the business. This is being bought because they think they can leverage Palm's WebOS software across a lot of their products, not just to get into the smartphone business. So it's a very strategic acquisition for them. You know, it'll be dilutive up front. It's not designed to be accretive or anything like that. This is about where HP wants to be 10 years from now, not stuck in the gross margin conundrum that you tend to get into when you're just reselling Windows products.
That's interesting because I thought that the hardware business, certainly the cell phone business, had to be one of the most unattractive businesses to get into, with Apple just chewing up all the competitors. So you're really talking about the software. How does HP use the software down the road?
Well, at least what they said on their conference call, they would like to build on the software so that they can use it on future tablets, laptops, any kind of connected consumer device. You know, basically try to create what Apple has done and in the computing world. And really, a smartphone is not, you know, if it wasn't kind of clear before, it should be obvious now. A smartphone is not a market in of itself. It is just part of the computing market. And HP would like to tackle that market with their own operating system rather than just reselling Windows.
Sure, but is it worth spending $1.2 billion to get the software? Wouldn't it be cheaper to build it in-house?
It's a lot tougher to. I mean, there's obviously time to market issues, but you know, Palm started building this in 2005. They've probably put in cumulative R&D something north of $500 million into it, and they've attracted. Even though it's been a little disappointing, they still have 4,000 applications written to it, and it's got the attention of developers, and so HP has the wherewithal to do that. But it would take a number of years, and a lot of the senior engineering talent that kind of helped bring this operating system to market at Palm really came in just to work with John Rubinstein. So it was kind of a, you know, it was something that would be tough for a large company like HP or Dell to do in-house. Just the talent that's out there that can do something like this is pretty rare.
Tavis, last question for you. Does this turn up the heat on Microsoft and mobile computing?
I mean, to me, the most fascinating strategic implication of this is, you know, is the entire horizontal model of computing dead? You know, is Microsoft going to have to get into the hardware business? Is Google going to have to get into the hardware business? Because these big hardware vendors see what Apple's been able to do, and they see that their future is just competing with Taiwan Inc., making 15% gross margins, and they don't want it.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. I want to thank you very much. Tavis McCourt coming to us from Morgan Keegan, talking about the acquisition of Palm. Hewlett-Packard agreeing to pay $1.2 billion or $5.70 for the mobile smartphone maker.